Okay. We back. Hey, yo, this happens. This happens sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, when you try not to play, it could be anything, but you try not to play no music or anything. But hey, I can't stop. We can't. Well, I can't really say it, but so we choose soldiers and we don't die. We keep running. But but anyway, so we gonna get back to basically where we left off at. So anyway, I was talking about this, and what I was saying was that there's many instances in history, whether in a military campaign or a battle, or even economically, you know what I'm talking about, where one imposes the terms of a fight, and no, Choti Yafe, that is not no, wrong song. Wrong song. Okay. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only No Limit no limit fan. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Maybe I'm the only one. But anyway, um, but but even economics, like there was like when oh man, when the battle of Waterloo happened, that also was sort of like a battle in a sense with with the Rothschilds and how they withheld information, knowing that Napoleon won just so they can make money. But it's it's sort of not in my head like that. Or you could say with the Medici's and how certain instances on how they made money and things like that. But yeah, man, there are many examples we can use. You know what I'm talking about, and whatnot. But peace, sovereign needs. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man. But he also, I like how he says, you think he has a handicap? No, you're wrong. The other guy has the handicap. You control him. You know, but which was also a good example. Because people will see that. But as long as you basically get um, able to direct the momentum and direct the force, then there is no handicap. You know what I'm talking about? That's pretty much what I want to get through right quick. You know what I'm talking about? So Sun Tzu said, Sun Tzu, uh, generally the control of the numerous is like the few. It is a matter of planning the divisions. A contest with the numerous is like a contest with the few. It is a matter of masteral position. Governing a large number as though governing a small number is a matter of division into groups, battling a large number as though battling a small number of forms and costs. You sort of see that, or with sort of military, at least in my experience, with military divisions, and how sometimes they uh, restructure. You know what I'm saying? They restructure the divisions, and sometimes brigades or battalions are disbanded, to restructure. You know what I'm talking about? Like another example is that the U.S. Marines are getting rid of their sniper units in a sense, or basically restructuring them into reconnaissance units. Just not sniper units, but just reconnaissance. You know what I'm saying? where you just not learn how to shoot, and snipe, but you also learn basically reconnaissance and scouting and things like that. You know, thing things like this happen, all the time. So, but yeah, so um South South, as you can see from the picture, you know. Forms and calls refer to the formations and the signals used to dispose troops and coordinate movements, you know. So, all right. Now, the entire force must be able to act on the opponent without sustaining losses. It is a matter of surprise and the straightforward. The impact that comes from a strategy is like an egg thrown against a millstone. It is a matter of illusion and reality. And so, making the armies able to take on opponents while being defeated is a matter of um, unorthodox and orthodox methods. Sometimes you may um, be battling something, and you may use different types of methods. You know, um, Simple or yet not so simple. You know, to get the upper hand in anything that you do. All depends on the planet. You may have unorthodox and orthodox methods. You may be thinking out the box. Sometimes you see that with um I want to say, well, experiments. There we go. There's orthodox and unorthodox methods. If you're trying to come up with something new, of course, there's going to, you probably go about the roundabout way of finding something out. But then there's an unorthodox method that probably give you the results that you're looking for. And then it hits you, aha, you know. So yeah, man, that's just one example of things like that. Or let's see. Um, I would say okay, orthodox and unorthodox method. We can go to music and um, the creation of jazz. Some would say it's an orthodox. It is an orthodox method. No one heard that kind of music before. It wasn't structured. It was very, as you can see, there's an orthodox, when you come to your big band, then there's the unorthodox when you just freestyle. But it still gets the finished product and the product and the proper results. You know what I'm saying? When you play off one another, but you still sound good, or whatever. But then you can still play sheet music and dun, 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 or you can freestyle it and turn one song into something totally your own. You know what I'm talking about? Like I well, yeah, like Dizzy. Yeah, Dizzy did Caravan. Um Dizzy Gillespie, for those who know, Dizzy did like Caravan, which was created by Duke Ellington, right? But he did an entirely different composition, but it was still good, you know, and whatnot. So yeah, man. There's many examples you could use. So John Lynn says, when you meet opportunities head on with coordinated surprise attacks all around, you can always win and never lose. So when you have met opportunities and and all your planning, coordinated planning, um, helps you win. You know, and never lose. You know what I'm saying? Because you already planned everything out. And sometimes that's the best thing about being the surprise, or having the surprise. You know, it it basically, shocks shocks, the opponent, or the force, that or the opposing force, to where you can win, because they're instantly taken off their square. You know what I'm saying? And then they have to react to what you're doing. And therefore you what? Impose the terms of the fight. And now you're opposing the terms of the peace. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. Now, this is quite lengthy and long. You know what I'm talking about? But this is from Ho Young Shi, you know, and he writes, a military body goes through myriad transformations in which everything is blended. Nothing is not orthodox. Um, Nothing is not unorthodox. If the militia is raised for a just cause, that is orthodox. If it adapts to change in the face of an enemy, that is unorthodox. What is unorthodox for you cause opponents to see as orthodox. The orthodox is also unorthodox, and the unorthodox is also orthodox. Generally, in military operations, there is always the orthodox and the unorthodox, or the straightforward and the surprise. Victory without use of both orthodox and orthodox methods is a lucky win, what amounts to a brawl. So I was, but so with combining both, you know, um, orthodox methods and unorthodox methods, you have a what he says, you have a surety to win. It's not just some luck. Where some people will be like, man, I had a lucky break, or anything like that. No, I calculated my own victory. You know what I'm saying? I calculated where I was going to go in 5 years. And so that's what happened. It happened just like I said. Called it. We go through those times where we say something because we calculate what's going on, and we observe so much, and then we say, we probably do that with our children. You know what I'm saying? And say, man, if you ain't careful, you're gonna do this. And then when something, you be like, I told you. Things like that. But also, I would say it's sort of like what Bruce Lee was saying, combining both extremes, into one, not going to one side or this side. You know what I'm saying? In that area as well. You know what I'm talking about? So Zhang says various people have different explanations of what is orthodox and what is orthodox. Orthodox and are not fixed, but are like a cycle. Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty, a famous warrior and administrator, spoke of manipulating opponents' perceptions of what is orthodox and what is unorthodox, then attacking it unexpectedly, combining both into one, becoming inscrutable to opponents. You know, so I would say, man, you see this in fights, all, all throughout history. Look, when certain colonial forces brought guns to, you know, a fight that didn't include that. That was unorthodox. But they like, hey, we still won. Now you got to give up your land or your peoples. But you know, you know, or I would also probably say, man, there's so many. Okay, um, go back to like when when Chief was talking about King Philip's War, there was a lot of unorthodox things going on. you know, in that war. I sort of talked about how, they would, go into villages even when they weren't even combatants. They didn't have no parts of it, and they'll still, commit, heinous acts, would you say like that? Heinous acts, you know what I'm saying, on innocent people. But let them tell it. Hey, we was in fear for our lives because they came and they raided and and this, and so we had to do what we had to do for the greater good, better, and or like Dr. Amos Wilson would say, you call the Indian savages so you can treat them savagely. It's the same thing of, imposing orthodox on them, being fair and not being fair. I'll say it like that. When you want to have a fair fight, but then you want to hide the rock in your hand, orthodox, unorthodox, what I'm talking about. Or when you're supposed to, okay, we've all been to a high school fight before, two people supposed to fight head up and then somebody jumps in. Oh, so you just gonna jump me? You just gonna jump? Oh, y'all want to play that? And it becomes, a bigger fight than what it's supposed to, But yeah, okay. I'm wrong for assuming all y'all have probably been to a high school fight before. That's just for us. I guess a city people. Can't put that on everybody. Some of y'all were good people. Some of y'all were good kids. But yeah, man. So Sun Tzu believed that the ideal strategy during conflict is more, it's to move opponents here and there until they are perfectly positioned to their own disadvantage. This strategy, which he called directing, is the art of compelling the opponent to react to whatever information is presented. It is a skill that is used by leaders who are gifted with creative, insightful minds. While directing can be used to carefully position the opponent, leaders must also be masters of timing, for it is strategic timing that makes directing effective. It. I mean, that could be, giving false information. You know what I'm saying, or staging, a, a coup. We just said staging a coup. You know what I'm saying? All that comes with dealing with information and timing. The timing has to be right. Or staging a revolution, of course, revolutions are not televised, just for some people that still probably think that. But, it's all about timing and how you want to position your opponent or your opposing force, into where you can basically topple them, and have them react and have them on the offensive where they have to react to everything that you're doing. See, impose in terms of the fight. Giving them the strategic disadvantage, even if they probably had the overall advantage as far as anything else, but you position them in a way where they did not have that advantage, like in Dr. Stone. Exactly. See, massing information, just like that, information warfare, just like Dr. Stone. Same thing. And even with that, but as you can see, Senku was always, directing, he was directing his friends, on his side. But he was also directing, his enemy and whatnot. So that is one example for dope. Dr. Stone is an anime and it's a manga. For those of us that have it, have books, that deals with the modern world. We going back sort of into the Stone Age, where everybody turns stone. That's why I call himself Dr. Stone. I don't want to say too much time, but if you like it, look, the books are really cheap, like what, so you can start off, with the volume very, very easy, so. But yeah, man. Or you can watch the anime. The anime is good too. It's already got two seasons. Two seasons. You know what I'm saying? Ed is coming up with a third. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout. But the same thing. Information. I have to get. That's another thing I want to understand: intelligence or information warfare. And espionage, spy stuff, how it's really done, and not in the movies, what I'm saying, not like James Bond, but how like there's a few books I want to get on espionage. My dang on book list be growing, but there's a few books I want to get on espionage and the history of spies and things like that, just to know, just to understand, because. Hey, yeah, you don't know that. Just saying, what you know about, spying and espionage, which is needed, and things like that. Those are interesting things, what I'm saying? Intelligence, everybody, has some sort of intelligence, and we're just not talking about knowing, but we're talking about valuable information that you use to basically win. Whatever's there, or take whatever's there. You may want to take some. You may want to take a technology. I don't know. Hey yo, somebody building something new. Hey yo, send such. Send spies there to get that information. Sometimes you see see them in certain shows. Give me the chemical compound of dynamite. What black dynamite. It's the new version. It's new version. But yeah, different from regular dynamite. It's black dynamite. But anyway, so. Those who have direction can arouse the charging waters, uprooting boulders along the way. Those who have timing can charge like a bird of prey, piercing its target along the way. Hence, those who are skilled in conflict are formidable in their directing and quick in their timing. Directing is like a tautly drawn crossbow. Timing is like the release of the arrow. Okay. Now, same passage. So, when the speed of rushing water reaches the point where it can move boulders, this is the force of momentum. When the speed of a hawk is such that it can strike and kill, this is precision. So it is with skillful warriors. Their force is swift. Their precision is close. Their force is like drawing a catapult. Their precision is like releasing the trigger. So if you know what a catapult is, or even a trebuchet, sort of the same thing. Both siege weapons. You pull it. You aim it, pull the trigger, and in the makeup of the catapult or the trebuchet, there is force that basically hurls the boulder, to the wall. It automatically uses force, because of the counterbalance of of the other end to hurl the boulder over. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, there's mathematics and science to it, but yeah, force, that force that moves, you know what I'm saying, to get to where it needs to go, to strike where it needs to go, and be precise at it. So Doom says that their force is swift in the sense that the force of the momentum of battle kills when it is released. That is why it is likened to a drowned catapult, you know. Okay, so before I play this, right, let me give you some context. Okay, this is battle. Look, all just in case, all links are always in the description. You never know when you get copyright. So I make sure to put all links in the video just in case something like this happens, right? But let me give you context. Okay, this is in Japan, right? This is during the Warring States period of Japan, right? And this is basically the Battle of Nagashino. Now, what happens, and basically at this time is that, okay, Oda Nobunaga, right? Of the Oda clan, he's basically amassing power, in central Japan. And then you have, the Takeda clan, right? After that, their big, their big boss, or daimyo, but their big boss, Shingen Takeda, right? He's dead. Actually, there's a old but good movie. I haven't seen it yet, but old but good movie about his body double, Shingen Takeda's body double, which is very interesting. But he dies, right? That was their previous daimyo, and his son Katsuyori, he is running the Takeda, right? And so they are going back on. Well, the Takeda are going back on a rampage, right? In a sense, they're going on the offensive, and they're going to strike the Tokugawa clan. Now, it's very important because the Oda clan, well, Oda Nobunaga, or Nobunaga Oda, because Oda's the surname or the last name. So I say it first and first name last, okay? So he's one of the what's called the three unifiers. He's the first unifier, said to be the first unifier of Japan, right? And the second one is Ieyasu Tokugawa, so, and they're basically their provinces are right next to each other, so what the Takeda about to do, or what Katsuyori is about to do, he's about to go attack the Tokugawa clan and in their own province, and he is ransacking and running through those provinces, the Tokugawa provinces. And because of that, Nobunaga and Ieyasu are going to send, reinforcements. They send reinforcements. And while Katsuyori is, the Takeda, Katsuyori is trying to siege Nagashino Castle, because that's where the battle gets from. Nagashino Castle, that's when they send these reinforcements. Basically a coalition of reinforcements between the Tokugawa and the Oda, right? So, they about to fight, and basically there's an issue in the Takeda battle plans because of the simple fact that the old, or the senior generals, or the senior officials, military officials, that served under Shingen Takeda, they're like, don't fight the Oda and the Tokugawa, out in this field. Let's go back to Kai, which is their province. Let's go back to Kai, and try again. But the young was like, nah, son, nah, man. Let's go get them, man. Like for real. Like, they right there. We already here. And one night, so at this battle, what happens is, the Takeda are known for horses and cavalry and whatnot, and using the cavalry in the battle. Well, at this battle, the Oda slash Tokugawas, they use rifles, not the rifles that you're thinking, but old matchlock rifles, where he has the big, I don't want to say wet, but but it's muzzle loading. I just said that it's muzzle loading rifles. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, takes time, and these are, um, single shot, as well. You know what I'm talking about, and that's what they're using. You won't see it in the video that I'm about to play, but they had basically three columns of rifle shooters, right? And then they made wooden barricades, in front of the rifle regiments, and then they positioned themselves between basically two branches of rivers, you know, where they were just surrounded by water from the front and to the back. That was another reason why they said don't don't fight them. You got to cross a minor branch of the river just to get to them anyway. And they got horses. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, already you can see the positioning, right? But I just wanted to give that context so you know what I'm talking about. But what you say? These numbers. I'm painting a picture of these concepts from one. For sure, man. Hold on. Will propaganda qualify as one of those strategies that could influence the opponent if it leads war against the? Yes. Sovereignties. That's a perfect example. I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to, but it's like don't drop the gun. But yeah, propaganda definitely. I wanted to use it later on, but you already said something anyway. But yes, propaganda, of course. Even when yes, perfect example. Propaganda is another form of this so-called strategy. You know what I'm saying? Of directing the force. By using propaganda, even if you're not at war, because there's always propaganda, especially on you. There's always some type of propaganda, be it a movie, TV show, reality show, social media. There's a lot of propaganda. Dude. Hey, we can keep on going on and on about it. But yeah, Masculine, that was the point of using all of these analogies, man. I wanted to really give proper context. It's like the seeds that are growing, that just keep growing over time. You think you get it at first, but you have no idea how deep or high it is. Yeah, deeply rooted, man. Reload time was like reinstall Instagram each time you go from one post to another. Well, not necessarily, but I guess you can say that. I mean, yeah, you got where if you ever glory, but see, that's a little bit more simplified. Yeah, that's more quick. In the sense that's more quick. Because those rifles are more up to date. This is doing the 1500s. So, in this battle, rifles being used so like this is also new, especially in Japan. But yeah, you gotta it's gonna take maybe 2-3 minutes. At least with this rifle, at least with the matchlock, maybe a matchlock. Got the powder, you gotta make sure the powder dry. Things like that, man. But yeah. That's Let's get into it. Also, this does have subtitles. Just in case. You know what I'm talking about? Because actually, this was taken from a TV show. I ain't never seen a TV show, but it's about, the TV show is about Nobunaga. You know, but it's there, you know. So I saw the clip. I was like, ooh, you know. It's not taken from the movie. It's just taken from the TV show. So, as you can see, they are already on the talkative side. You know what I'm saying? You can always tell, well, you can tell the talkative side by the mon or common, which is their family crest, which is that diamond that you see in the background. And, you know, talkative known for wearing red. They, you know, or at least that's always been the picture of them wearing red and black. You know what I'm saying? Even their crest or their mon is always red and black. You know what I'm talking about, but you sort of want to see it here. You know what I'm saying? And then you know the older side is because their crest is a flower. I forget which flower it is. I don't want to, it's not a chrysanthemum, but it's that's their crest, you know. Okay, I will say this. Now that's the Tokugawa side. You could tell by the crest in the background. That's the Tokugawa crest in the background, which would, you know, be the shogunate crest. You know, when they become, you know, the third unifiers of Japan. You know, and grind as the shogunate. You know what I'm saying? Tokugawa shogunate. For those that don't know, it's not information.
我が騎馬隊の恐ろしさ示すのじゃ。たとえ敵の騎馬隊を押し寄せてきても、前の柵は越えられる。よって慌てるでない。三人一組にて、ゆっくり卵抜いたぜ。
Also, because I've never seen the TV show, I can't tell you who everybody is. I sort of know, like I know who Castle Yori is. I can tell you who Oda Nobunaga is. I can tell you who Ieyasu is. But some other people, like Tadakasu Honda or you know, Katsue Shibata, because I know he was there, and Toshie Maeda. I mean, I know they were there, but I can't tell you who they are in the TV show. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the actual name of the crest that they or the plant that they use. Sovereign Eats. I you know what? If I don't know, I mean I've always seen it, and I don't. But it's hard for me to remember when you haven't done it in so long. I just know, oh, that's Oda. Oh, that's, you know, that's Tokugawa. You know what I'm saying? Or it's another one. Or okay, the Date clan, right? Because that was one of my favorites too. And they had a bird, a double bird. Crest, you know, but I couldn't tell you what. I can't tell you if it was a crane or it was a sparrow. I just know it was a bird. You know. Or what's another one? Okay, because they're also here. The Senator, right? I can tell you what the Senator crest is. Like the Senator have basically six circles, but actually there's 6 coins. You know, they each got a circle with yeah, it should be a square inside. That's how you know it's 6 coins. At least I used to call them 6 coins. You know, so yeah, man. But I used to like looking at, you know, Moan and Come On and whatnot. So but I will also say you see the psychological warfare played on both sides with the band and whatnot. Even when it comes to the lay of the land with the fog and whatnot, everything plays a part. You could already see the direction of both forces. You know what I'm talking about? On both sides.
狙いを定めよう。まだまだ慌てるでない。慌てるでない。慌てるでない。
申し上げます。我が騎馬隊次々に突っ込んでおりますが、敵の鉄砲数多く敵陣に攻め入ることできませぬ。
なぜ敵は次々と鉄砲を撃てるのじゃ。
ようわかりませぬ。
早急に確かめよう。
はっ。
何をしておるか。
申し上げます。敵は前面に二重の馬止めの柵作り、その後ろから限りなく鉄砲を打ちかけてまいりまする。このままでは騎馬隊に討ち死にする者増えまする。一旦引けの合図お願いいたしまする。
何を申すか。我が騎馬隊に柵の一つや二つ越えられるはずない。鉄砲を相手に我が騎馬隊負けたたっては甲斐騎馬軍団の名折れであろ
う。お願いでござる。引けの合図を。このままでは我が軍勢全滅いたしまする。
なぜじゃ。
敵の鉄砲には何か仕掛けがござります。それを確かめるまで兵をお引きくださりませ。
わしが参る。
なりませぬ。
おしゅうめ、鉄砲を恐れるは武士のはずぞ。
殿、
申し上げます。山形三郎病院様、討ち死になされました。
何、山形が。
はっ。
信長め、わしれ。パパ。鉄砲など恐れてはならん。我らには亡き親方様信玄公がついておる。押し出せ。山形三郎病院様、討ち死に。馬場美濃の神様、討ち死に。横田備中の神様、討ち死に。甘利東蔵様、討ち死に。真田源太左衛門様、討ち死に。川久保備後の神様、討ち死に。土屋宗蔵様、討ち死に。杉原日向の神様、討ち死に。
Okay, so that's the battle of Nagashino, right? But also, realistically, they did make it past the barricades. The Taka did, but they are repelled every time, and they face so many casualties. Like as you see, they lost a lot of the senior officers. You know, they lost a lot of the senior officers, and during this battle, and they have to go back to Kai defeated, and they'll never really have that prominence and power ever again after this battle. It'll be done. It'll be done. While Nobunaga will still be advancing and conquering in a sense. So yeah. I chose, like you saw me. I love this. I love these too because I had to play the games and I had to really reenact this battle and win. Was like, and then you have to charge a line. You're like, put them here. In case you fast enough, hurry up, But not just that, just the history in general and the movies, man, like the movies and whatnot. But but also like that's the Nani retreat. Ute, we talking to, we talking to, we don't retreat. Nani, we don't retreat. We are attacking her, Like you see, I'm ready to come speak. It's the Rock. For real, like it's the Rock. So we don't retreat. Especially not them for them foul boys. Oh no, son. We do not do that. But they got rifles. And they ain't gonna be able to reload them quick. Oh man. Another famous battle between that has a Takeda in it is the one between the previous lord Shingen Takeda and Kenshin Osugi. That's another famous battle, which has been depicted in movies, which is good. But yeah, man. So many good battles. It's just to put a point. I was going to use the Battle of Hattin, but I was like, man, I've already did it, with Kingdom of Heaven. I don't really have to put it in because you already know the battle. You know what I'm saying? But that was another battle that was basically directing the European Christian forces to Saladin. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We multiply. No. No. Once we gone, it's like, oh, man, we used to run things. Now we don't run things no more. We ain't gonna never see these heights again. Some place should be messed with, and they mess with the dang on Tokugawa, and bam, But yeah. But also, like I said, I was going to use Battle Team because it also showed a directing of force, But like I said, it already did it. But yeah, when Saladin just completely decimates Gideon using and Renaud de Chatillon and the Templars, the Hospitallers, all of them. When's that good battle at Hattin? You know what I'm talking about. It's like I say, it's a lot. Hey, ninja gets shot every day. Actually, what's interesting is that the apparently, I haven't researched it a lot, but apparently, the people to use the guns a lot were the Ikuiki, which was like a monk-like faction. I had to say faction. The Ikuiki. They were warrior monks. A warrior monk clan in a sense. You know what I'm talking about? But the Ikuiki, they were using guns and things like that, or rifles. Matchlock rifles, and flintlock rifles, and things like that. And where did they learn all this stuff from? When the Portuguese and came in, Portuguese, Dutch, the Europeans came, try to bring in that Christianity. They also learned how to make rifles. So that's how they, but yeah, man. Yeah, and then just get shot every day, B. But they ain't getting up. You can't walk this off, but yeah, but so the number and confusion and comings and goings make the contest seem disordered, and yet there is no disorder. The blending and merging and chaos and tumult make the position seem encircled, and yet there is no losing. Equal. Well, I'll type it or or you, Ikwiki. Like, what you trying to say? I talk funny. Yeah, Ikwiki. I can say it quickly. Don't you? Don't you try. But yeah, the Ikwiki. I'm sorry. I can say it fast. But that's how you really say it, Eco Iki. But Ikwiki. you know. So apparent disorder is a product of control. Apparent fear is a product of courage. Apparent vulnerability is a product of possession. Control or disorder is a matter of analysis. Courage or fear is a matter of direction. Possession or vulnerability is a matter of positioning. Um, Disorder arises from order. Cowardice arises from courage. Weakness arises from strength. Order and disorder are a matter of organization. Courage and cowardice are a matter of momentum. Strength and weakness are a matter of formation. So all these are, a result of something else. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a matter of formation and positioning. When it comes to cowardice and courage is a matter of momentum. That force. You know what I'm saying? Fight or flight. The momentum of one over the other. Whether you're gonna fight or whether you or whether you're gonna fly. Order or disorder. It's a matter of organization. Is your organization orderly or is it disorderly? All of that plays a plays a part. Are you courageous or weak? And all that comes from is strength. How strong are you? Physically, mentally, spiritually. All of it. So if you presume on the orderliness of government and fail to provide for the comfort of the governed, thus creating much resentment, disorder is certain to arise. That's what Liston says. Dumu, what this means is that if you want to feign disorder so as to lead opponents on, first, you must have complete order, for only then can you create artificial disorder. If you want to feign cowardice to spy on opponents, first you must be extremely brave, for only then can you act artificially timid. If you want to feign weakness to induce haughtiness in opponents, first you must be extremely strong, for only then can you pretend to be weak. Man, well, there's many instances, but right now because it's coming up, like when I will watch this TV show based on what it's called, the Emperor's Alliance. Oh, hold on, the the Advisors Alliance. That's what it is. It's been a minute. The Advisors Alliance, because I talked about it once before, a long time ago though. And it's about Sima Yi, right? That was one thing about Sima Yi in the TV show. He would always act like he was weak, and cowardly and things like that. But there was like this one time he's meeting Sao, right? He's meeting Sao. And Sao, he's talking to Sao, and he's being real meek and weak and cowardly towards Sao. And then, Sao hits, I forget, he does something. He like hits something or whatnot, and Sima Yi turns around and give him like fierce eyes and right back at him, and then Sao likened it to that of a tiger, like that dude's really strong. But also he also knows that because his Sao's old advisor was Gorgian. I forget his name, but because he's about to die, and he says, "You look, employ Sima Yi But if you can't employ him, kill him. Kill him. Don't let him, because he already knows that dude is strong. He but yeah, man. But that's something where he just bows to South and whatnot, and then he just acts meek and acts scared. But once South just, I think he just snaps his head, stands his hand on the table or something, but he does something, and some of you just turns around like, he was like, whoa. Yeah, Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze. you know. So yeah, man. Order and disorder are changes in organization. Organization means methodical. It took me a minute. Regulation. Courage and cowardice are changes in momentum or force. Strength and weakness are changes in formation. So that's from Wang Shi. And Li Tran says, when an army has the force of momentum, even the timid become brave. When it loses the force of momentum, even the brave become timid. Nothing is fixed in the laws of warfare. They develop based on momentum. And you see that, with many things, you may think, an opposing, a team is highly favored to win, and then they have an upset, and it all comes down to the momentum that they have. Sometimes the underdog has some more momentum. You never know. Like I say, it's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of fighting the dog. You know what I'm saying? Down home, they do. So yeah, man, that all goes into having that momentum of force, to carry on the fight to victory. You know what I'm talking about? Or success. So, okay. So before I get into this, let me give you some background, because we are going back to Three Kingdoms period, right? And this is about Zhuge Liang, aka Kong Ming. Only that. Hey yo, like basketball, that they have an anime called Your Boy Kong Ming, and it's about Kong Ming coming back to the future, coming to the present, and he's like he's a rapper or a rap producer, like Kanye. Manager some chick. He's like a rap, music manager, agent, whatever you want to call him. I ain't seen it yet, but I will. But yeah, man. But it's really called Your Boy Kong Ming. Which Kong Ming is his courtesy name. Which you call call him Kong Ming because if you're his peers or things like that, but you never call him by his former given name, because that's for his elders or someone of higher rank than him and whatnot. You see the same thing with Southside, whose courtesy name was Mungda. So you would say Sao Mungda. You wouldn't say South South. So you would say Zhuge Kong Ming, and not Zhuge Liang. But yeah. So okay. So this is basically after the Battle of Red Cliffs, right? For those that know, this after the Battle of Red Cliffs, and everybody has basically established their own kingdom. You got Cao Wei in the north. You know what I'm talking about? You got Shu Han to the west, and you got Sun Wu in the east. You know what I'm talking about? Wu Gang all day, but. Sun Tran's running things, in Wu still, at this time, it's ruled, Wei is ruled by, or Cao Wei is ruled by Cao Rui, who is the son of Cao Bi. And at this time, that's when basically Wei claimed, they deposed the emperor, the Han emperor, and then they become basically the imperial family. The South become the imperial family, but then you have the Shuhan, which was ran by Liu Bei, who was also part of the Han family. Well, the Han dynasty, Han bloodline anyway, and he's dead. At this time, he's dead, and his son Liu Shan runs that kingdom, right? But the prime minister is Zhuge Liang or Zhuge Kongming, right? And so at this time, Zhuge Liang, is basically putting together what's called the Northern Expedition, which basically that's when Shu or Shuhan basically is going to attack Wei. Also with their coalition with Wu at this time, but it's it's funny. Sounds like a funny show. I have not seen it, but everybody, some people say it's good, but yeah, man. So, they take their army up to the western side of Wu, right? The west side of western region of Wei. Sorry, I said Wu, Wei. But northwest, and they're attacking, and at that point, Sima Yi is not there. He's not leading, right? So they're gaining and then they're losing, some things, because this whole expedition or campaign, it's already a long trek just to get to one of their resupply cities, Hongzhong. I ain't gonna know all the cities, but I do know Hongzhong. That's basically gonna be the central, I would say, staging ground for that for the Northern Expedition. It's gonna play a big role. But when this comes down, Sima Yi, comes with a big force, right? And he meets your boy Kong Ming. And this is what happens. Because a lot of things happen. Zhuge Liang, sends, this guy called Masu to fight, Wei. He loses. And because he loses and he didn't listen, that one had another lesson in it. And because he loses and he didn't listen to his advisors and everything, Zhuge Liang kills him, sends him, to execution based on military law, and whatnot. But it's after that, and oh man, so much. But let's just get into it.
速将城上旌旗隐蔽，守城驻军，若有擅自出入、高声说话者，立斩。魏军来时不可轻动。
亲，快看，诸葛亮！看，诸葛亮故作此态，我看不如杀进城去。对，父亲，杀进去。
不可妄动。铮铮之音如惊涛拍岸，风卷残云。志端似有雄兵100万。
父亲，我怎么就听不出来？
你听，似山间小溪，清澈见底，非心旷神怡者不能为之。诸葛亮定然是胸有成竹。
父亲，几根琴弦，岂能如此传神？
心乱则音燥，心静则音纯，心慌则音悟，心泰则音轻。听诸葛亮弹琴，如观其肺腑也。我能为诸葛亮之音，不胜荣幸。传我将令，后队改前队，兵退北山。
父亲，何故退兵？
你不知，诸葛向来用兵谨慎，不曾弄险。如今城门大开，不见兵将，城中必有埋伏。再者，诸葛亮琴声诱寒杀机，我兵若进城，必中其心。快撤！撤！撤！快撤！
丞相，丞相，司马懿大军退了。
献呐，献计呀！唉，不得已而用之。
丞相，
丞相，若是我等，必然是弃城而走。
唉，武将全部派出，城中只有文官，我身边仅剩2000多士兵。若弃城而走，走不多远，即为司马懿所擒呐。
是啊，是啊。
粮车是否装完？
全部装完，即可起运。
立即运往汉中。
是。
叫西县百姓也随军退往汉中。
是。
司马懿不久必复回西县。
是，丞相，为何没见到您的大军？
何尝有什么大军呢？不过是空城一座，古琴一曲而已呀。
押运粮草，速回汉中。
Okay, so more context, right? When he talks about the grain and whatnot, what happened was that with the shoe, making this incursion up into the northwestern way region, what they did was they basically took the grain from Way, and they were sending it to Hongjong. That's what was happening. They took the grain from the farms of the Wei provinces, and they were shipping it to basically their city of operation, which is Hongjong. And like you say, all I had, I didn't have no main force. That was one thing. Zhuge Liang was a master of deception when it comes to this. And man, in like for me, in like I've seen this in different TV shows, but my favorite one has always been Growling Tiger, Roaring Dragon, which is basically part 2 of the Advisors Alliance, right? Look, I was looking on my phone. It's like they finally got English. You don't know how long I waited for years from to have English subtitles, and I used to get mad because I finished the whole first season, part 1, and I was like, all I want to do is watch part 2, and couldn't do it because they didn't have English subtitles, or they did have English subtitles, and it only went up to like the 11th episode. I was so dang on mad. And, because you get the best, like, oh man, what? But yeah, man. So like in that version, Sima Yi and Zhuge Liang are having a conversation, because to me it was always deeper. They're having a conversation of minds, right? And they're talking while Zhuge Liang is playing the lute or the zither or whatever, and he's and in that scene you see Sima Yi get egotistical, like, I'm Sima Yi, cuz. Like, I'm Sima Yi. I know who you is, but I'm Sima Yi. I'm gonna take you back. He's like, well, then come on in. But I'm telling you this, you gonna regret it. And you're like, what you mean? If you take this city, you and your kids are going to die. You're going to die. And he's like, now mind you, I'm paraphrasing. Your whole family's gonna die. You're like, what you mean? I'm assuming, yeah, ain't that ain't gonna happen. Like, yes, it is, because you already know that the emperor or the Sao Rui is, he's fearful of you, or he don't trust you, and none of the minister trust you as well. Because you gotta understand something. Also, at this time, the way government, or the way we just say Ray government or imperial government, it's fragmented. Everybody's out for themselves. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, no one's trusting them. It's very fractured from when Sao and Sao P was running things. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody don't like each other. You got people switching sides, and people looking for people to go, have their demise or something, so they can take their power, things like that. So that's what he says. If you don't, you take the city if you want to, but you ain't gonna enjoy, the win. You ain't gonna enjoy the W. That's when you're gonna get hunted. And then, then that part plays out. He says, retreat. Why you retreat? But you know what? Also, that's not going to be the only time that Sima Yi really doesn't advance or fight, in a sense, with Sima Yi. He's going to fight, but that whole Sima Yi versus Zhuge Liang always one up Sima Yi, especially when it comes to ambushes and things like that. He be like in the Northern Expedition. He be ambushing way like it ain't nothing, and they fall for it, and then people die. You know, good people, good warriors die, good generals die. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But he be getting them, and this is during the time, you know, the Northern Expedition. All he got is Zhao Yun or Zhao Zilong, you know, which is the last of the 5 Tiger generals, you know, because it was Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Zhao Yun, Hong Zhong, and Ma Chao. And well, Guan Yu dead, Zhang Fei's dead, you know. Hong Zhong, he dies on the Northern Expedition. Mao Chao dies of sickness, and all that's left is Zhao Yun or Zhao Zilong, you know, and he's old. He's, you know, old man 70, still fighting on the battlefield, you know. And eventually he dies, because this is not going to be the last Northern Expedition that Zhuge Liang does. Well, we'll talk about Zhuge Liang next show. So yeah, but yeah. Right. I was looking for a link. Oh, I could give you one. Give me a second. I can give you the whole playlist, pimp. I give you the whole playlist because I'll be looking. Because I had to say if I have to give you, you know, if I have to give you that, I'm gonna have to give you the whole part 1 and part 2, because it's all on dang on it's all on YouTube. Let's see. Let me see. This should be it. Got me doing this. Oh, hold on. Doing it wrong. But yeah, it's what I thought it was. You know, I like the Advisors Alliance. I thought the Advisors Alliance was good. You know, because that's how I watched it on YouTube. Dead. I was like, ooh, this is good, you know. And let me get season 2, because now that I know that it's all in English, I'll give you season 2 as well. I hope that's the right one. That should be. And then there's because I just got it. Just did it, really. I saved it for myself. Because I've been looking for this, man. Like, I've really been looking for it. And now that they finally got season 2, but I already watched it, you know, so I already watched season 1 and 2. So it's cool. But yeah. So there it is. So now let's. Oh. Probably because I switched switched tabs. Probably, maybe that's it. But yeah, that's that. Like I said, I get into more with Zhuge Liang later. But continue on. Skillfulness in moving an opponent about comes through positioning the opponent and compelled to follow and get. Ooh, yo, Master Miller, because I know you've seen it. You know the chick that plays in what's that show we like to watch? Oh man, come on. Got Hooga in it. It got Hooga. It got and it was my breakthrough. You know I put you on to it. It's because it had a part 2. That one also had a part 2. Oh, that name is escaping me. Oh my goodness, we used to love it. Oh man, you was like, man, that show was good. Oh my goodness. Oh well, it'll come to me later. But oh man, thank you, nobody on fire. Yo, okay, the chick, okay, the woman that is Hugger's love interest. Well, the strategy, that well, the she's also in the Advisors Line. She plays Sima Yi's wife, but she's also in it. But she's also in that one, playing. But yeah, man, I know her name, but I had to remember. But yeah, even Nirvana on Fire got a part 2, but I never watched part 2, because it's a sequel, but it doesn't leave off where the last one left off. So I get mad. But yeah, man. But skillfulness in moving an opponent about comes through positioning the opponent is compelled to follow, and gifts the opponent is compelled to take through promise of gain. And an opponent is moved about while the team lies in wait. Therefore, those who skillfully move opponents make formations that opponents are sure to follow, give what opponents are sure to take. They move opponents with the prospect of gain, waiting for them in ambush. Yeah, see, it's been a business. We had talks like this. I couldn't make it past like the second episode 2. I was like, man, where's this going? The only thing I like about it is the opening theme. But other than that, I was like, oh, here we go. This is not, this don't have the original cast or nobody. Gosh, I don't know. But yeah, man. Also reminds me of a scene where the main characters are secretly telling a pair of enemies why this happens. They're all being told by a pair of TV. Yeah. It says for your enemies, you must first fully ally. So I thought that was such a cool line. I think I know that one. Cause that ooh. I know that line, but I can't say where it comes from. I know I watched it. Oh, honey, it's one. That show. That show like the Matrix is for Zach. You love her that. So I still have not watched that. But yeah. Formations that opponents are sure to follow are formations that give the impressions of exhaustion. Opponents are moved by the prospects of an advantage. So it's like, you give people an incentive, and then that's when the ambush comes in. You want to move your opponent or your opposing force where they think they have something to gain and they're getting something that they want. And then by that's how you ambush them and give in that surprise attack that they never saw coming because they're too busy thinking about what they're going to get. It does not mean giving the impression of exhaustion and weakness. When you are strong, when you are stronger than your opponent, then you appear worn out to induce the opponent to come to you. When you are weaker than your opponent, you appear strong to impel the opponent to go away. And thus, the movements of opponents all follow your direction. When you move opponents with the prospect of an advantage, since opponents are following you, you wait for them in ambush with well-prepared forces. So you lie in wait for your enemy, but you always psych them out. Where if you're weak, appear strong. If you're strong, appear weak. but always you're in control, and you are what? Imposing the fight. You are imposing the fight to impose the peace. See, look, collecting the dots to connect the dots. I'm talking about always, but you're always in control, and you're always directing, you know what I'm saying, instead of being directed, by some force that you don't know. Like Chief has said, you do not choose a culture, one will be appointed for you. Goes with direction, whether you know it or not. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah. Okay, I know you probably cannot see this, but this has to do sort of with current events, where this shows the naval force capabilities of both China and the United States, from 2000, 2016, and 2020. As you can see, China gaining the upper hand in some retrospects when it comes to certain naval assets, say it like that, naval assets and whatnot, which their military, we'll say military industrial complex, fired off at a rapid rate. You know what I'm talking about. And it astonished me, just by how these initiatives were put forth. Man, these initiatives were put forth before some of us was even born, but because of the simple fact that none of us the dominant society did not pay attention to these sort of things, or didn't care. Then overnight, you see, another country have a bigger naval, more naval assets than you. While you're downsizing or whatever. Like China's created man-made islands, affecting coral reefs and stuff. I don't know if you're supposed to be doing that, taking, um, ground from the ocean floor and then turn it into man-made islands. I don't know if that's good for the environment, natural order of things, natural environment, but they're doing it. But they put military installations there. Also, they have a bunch of shipyards, like 19 shipyards. 19 big shipyards, while the United States only have 7. At one point in time, the United States had like over 20, what year was China in? 4 years. They're still growing. I'm not saying that they're in the league. It depends on assets. It depends on naval assets. Like when it comes to destroyers and, maybe the destroyers and things like that. Yeah, they have more destroyers, as you can see from the chart down there, and that's 2020 that they have more I would call them destroyers, more destroyers, which are small than your corvettes and things like that, but they're destroyers, and whatnot. But as far as other things, they have like basically a more planning to have more. They have the initiative or the goal to be to have a major naval maritime force. And that's the initiative, and they're continuing the initiative. For us, it's like they've been planning this stuff since like I say, since before a lot of us was born. Like I didn't know, like when it comes to the PLA or the People's Liberation Army, they even had an initiative to make it more, I would say specialized. You know what I'm talking about? In certain retrospect, they downsized it first, and then sort of restructure and rebuild it. Today was supposed to be. I'm supposed to be watching a live about combined arms and whatnot, but it's supposed to come out today, but it hasn't came out yet. But I'm waiting on that, because that's one thing that they have done. They have structured combined arms brigades and things like that. So I mean, I find all that stuff interesting. I don't expect y'all to, but yeah. But this is one. And then like I say, they may not have it, but that's where they're projecting to go, now. But I'm just saying, that's the projection. And those projections can change, just like you see the budgeting for the you say the PLA. It may say one thing, but then you see they have money coming out of everywhere. You know what I'm saying, to fund more projects. So it is what it is. But also, sometimes on the other side of things, you have money that's being wasted, like I was watching how the US was supposed to come out with new destroyers, and then that got scrapped. That's one thing. They're supposed to have new carriers, and where they do have new super carriers and whatnot. Problem is that they be over budget and then behind schedule. And then when you only, like I said, China has so many shipyards, where US only have 7, and they, sort of small. When you also have a backlog of, basically servicing naval assets that need servicing and whatnot, and you have to, retire those ships and then replenish them, and then you got a backlog. It's a lot, but that's neither that's that's neither, that's good and bad, depending. You know what I'm talking about? That money from you know what? I hate to I ain't talking about that. But yeah, bruh, man, we ain't going. I ain't going. But yeah, yup. But it's also explained that sometimes where you can probably say, well, look at this person, look at what you're doing, and try to say this is bad, this thing, and then it was sort of explained that everybody has a modernizing cycle. Governments have a modernizing cycle. You know what I'm saying? And it may not be your time of modernize. That cycle may not come around yet. You have to wait for that modernizing cycle to come around. There's even talks with the AUKUS or Oscars. Well, Australia, UK, and US. They're coming. Supposed to be selling Ohio class submarines to Australia, and then they're supposed to be making submarines as well. But that's interesting because of some of the fact that the U.S. is supposed to be building Columbia class submarines, which is supposed to, new and improved, state of the art. We just say it like that. The Columbia class submarines and things like that. And then you have automated, assets, and let's not go into service. Look, there's a lot. We didn't even go, air missiles and whatnot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But all of this is happening, right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But governments have their own plan. What's interesting is that, where there's not two parties, you only have one party, one party in China. And what's interesting is that each leader has, basically keeps going with the goal of the initiative that the last one left off, at least on the military side. On the military side, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that interests me, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is a slide of the Belt and Road Initiative. Yeah, BRI, Belt and Road Initiative by China, where they, you know, through trains and basically trying to be the new Silk Road, on land and through sea, you know, and you see where that goes, you know what I'm saying? But like Master Manuel just said, you know, where they, you know, some of these countries don't got the money, but who's you know, loaning them money, you know, for these projects that's supposed to, you know, basically induce trade and give, you know, more prosperity and things like that, you know. Just saying, you know, and whatnot, you know, and sometimes it's like you might want to be careful or who you take money from. You know, you never know, son. You never. But it made me think of something that Chief was talking about years ago. Well, not years ago, maybe 2 years ago, when he made. He was talking about fisheries, you know, and how the Chinese fisheries, but I can't really quote him or paraphrase because it's not really in my mind. I just remember it in a podcast one time. But yeah, man, you know, you might want to be careful, you know, because they set policy, you know what I'm saying, and anything, because you're gonna have to pay it back. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pay it back somehow. You know what I'm saying? You know, gotta be careful. You know, hey, governments can be loan sharks too. You know what I'm saying? You know, they can be gang on you just like, you know. But yeah, you know, that's the initiative. You know what I'm saying? But it's you know, Silk Road was the same way. You know, if you remember it, you know, in antiquity. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it was loaning anybody no money to build stuff, you know, and build, you know. But I would also say pay attention to what's called the First Island Chain, which is basically you know, Korea. I just say South Korea, but Korea, Philippines, you know, what else is there? Malaysia, and then you have the second and third, you know, because that all plays a Taiwan. Oh man, Taiwan plays a big part because, you know, hey, they they want Taiwan, man. But I mean, hey, it's what it is. That's a lot. And I was just watching. I couldn't watch it all, but talks on Japan really getting together with Taiwan in a sense for defense against China, because like one guy was saying how they were running war games if Japan actually fought alongside the U.S. And he said, you know, that decreased the number of U.S. casualties by 30%, which is basically 5,000 people. But you know, casualties. But I mean, hey, people do these things. They run numbers. They play war games. Why not you do the same thing? You know, play war games. You know, come up with, you know, simulations where you act these things out and see what's the worst case scenario. You know, that may help in directing the force. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. You know, I'm just worried about the maritime road, as you see in two places known as, you know, on the map on the continent. Because I'm like, yo, son, like really? But hey, man, you know, this is what it is. But I'm just saying, I don't want to take that money if I was y'all, like for real. I mean, it may sound good now, but who am I to tell you? I ain't know, but like I say, loan sharks, man. Loan sharks. Nothing's for free. Oh yeah, man, war games, man. I like them, but not everybody likes those types of things. So this is Sonny Liston, and Muhammad Ali won in Miami, and who's also there? Malcolm X.
Well, bell rings. Liston comes in. Liston comes at him. Liston had a pretty good jab. Liston had the kind of jab that, unlike Ali's, it wouldn't cut you, but it'd give you a hell of a headache. It'd rock your head back like that. But he's chasing, and Ali is moving backwards. And when it first happens, we think he's afraid. We don't realize that he is doing the most single important thing you can do when a boxer fights a puncher. He is determining the geography of the fight. And when boxer fights puncher, whoever determines the geography is the guy that's going to win the fight.
Cassius, awkwardly fast. Good long left lead that might keep the champion a bit off balance. Very slippery. Play still in the danger zone in that he's keeping his hands low,
also,
but you'll
one
notice
person that's
one
probably,
thing if you don't mind.
that you should know that's narrating is Angelo Dundee.
We're halfway through
trainer
round
for
one.
Muhammad Ali. For those that don't know.
In close range, if we look closely, although Barney Felix does want them apart at this point because the hands were tied, Sonny will be the guy that'll keep mauling away. 1 minute more in the first round. Sonny seems to be trying to slip those left leads. Can't do it too successfully because the challenger is jabbing all over. Body, head, and right hand. The best punch in the fight so far. We're down to the closing second of this first round, and the long left lead is making the difference so far by Mr. Clay. Another jarring right hand that time, folks. Another one. Sonny wobbles. Sonny wobbles. Cassius has him hurt. Is talking to Sonny has a big mouth below his left eye. He has a cut below the eye, and he's getting hit with all the punches in the book. Now, folks, we're halfway through round three. Sonny bleeding slightly from the nose also. 55 seconds remaining in round 3. Hold the bone. Cassius is a bit hurt. Sonny, still aggressive, very durable. Seconds more in the third. Joe, I don't know whether you can see it. Look closely, look hard. They're working on the cut below the left eye. It's very difficult to get a shot, but what do you think Sonny's condition as Joe Polino works on the cut? I'd like to point out the champion is strong, durable, takes the good shot. However, he is being outmaneuvered at most points because this fella has that awkwardly fast style of going side to side, moving the upper part of his body.
Some of it apparently got onto Liston's gloves, whether by absolute carelessness or determined intent. Because by being on Liston's gloves and Ali getting hit with it, now apparently some of it got into Ali's eyes.
A lot now. I don't know who he looked like. He's arguing with his trainers. But I don't know. Clay, I think
he definitely had something in the eyes, and it made him panic. Got the sponge. I ran water into the eye. I cleaned it with the towel right away.
Getting ready for number 5.
Something wrong with Clay now. Something wrong with Clay. Something wrong with Clay.
I see that, Joe. His eyes are bothering
And here
him.
came Ali, blind in one eye, or so he said, and certainly distressed, coming out, and Liston now is going to eat him up. And Liston rocked him a couple of times.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know exactly what happened. They're yelling from Cassius Clay's corner. Something got in his right eye. However, he's blinking badly. Sonny's going to try to pour it on.
And Sonny Liston put a horrible licking on his body in that round. The lesser guy, would have folded. But he really was hammering those shots in.
Cassius still having some problems with his eyes. He's blinking and he's bouncing away continually. Liston still aiming toward the body with the big punches. Minute 30 seconds to go in the fifth. Sonny fired his best left hook so far.
But then about halfway through the round, his eyes started clear. He started doing a number on Liston again.
24 seconds remaining in the fifth. Only 10 seconds remaining as Sonny's still moving in. Cassius still bouncing punches away, blocking them. In round 6, we note that Sonny Flat-footed stance most of the time. Easy target. Easy. With a variety of punches. We call them combinations. Putting punches together. That's his strong point. We're in the middle of round number 6. Cassius plays still with the faster hands and the better legs, or at least the faster legs. I'll correct myself on that one. Sonny does have sturdy legs. With slightly less than a minute more in the 6th round, the champion has slowed down a bit. The tempo has slowed in the fight. Only 30 seconds to go in the 6th round. Sonny can't seem to slip or knock down that jab effectively. Cassius throws it from all angles. Very tricky left lead, left jab. Seconds remaining in the 6th. Going on in Sonny's mind at this point?
Well, I think Sonny now is beginning to worry now. At least his corners beginning to worry now, because I think that they feel now that Clay have all the confidence he needs and go on to defeat Sonny. So I think that the corner now beginning to worry a little bit now. He's seeing him go on winning now.
They might be stopping it. That might be all, ladies and gentlemen. Get up there, Joe. Get up there. Get up in the ring.
Suddenly, Ali breaks free, and he runs to the side of the ring that depresses him. And he jumps up on the ropes. And I'll never forget it. He's saying, I fooled you, and I fooled you, and I fooled you, and I fooled you. I'm the greatest.
So, as you can see, that was, Liston, Ali, won. But at this time, it was Cassius, he was Cassius, Louis D. Lip, what I'm talking about? But yeah, Cassius Marcellus Clay, had 2 Latin names, what you probably say, Cassius. But we say Cassius, but yeah, man, his mom named Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. But as you see, he's directing Liston into his own, into the fight that he wants him to have. Even when he, has that issue with his eye, he's still directing the force. You know what I'm talking about? And he's still able to win because he's directing the force. You know what I'm talking about? So I mean, it just keeps on going, man. But this is just another example on how one directs the force to have somebody fight their fight, or you entice them with something that they want, and then they fall for the okie doke, and then that's when the ambush comes. You know what I'm saying? No, don't say that. Kid show, kid friendly. So, but yeah, it's just like Master Mingler said, man. He was luring them, man. So yeah. Okay, join us next strong, because man, sometimes these things be long. So join us next strong, and we will finish out the month with 6, which we will be talking not of basically the art of war, but we will be going on with commentary from Zhuge Liang, and we will go into what he writes about warfare and things like that. We gonna do that, and we are gonna come with it when it comes to that. You know, talking about, and we gonna get into some more strategy. Also, you know, thanks, Master Man. Also, don't forget that we have ANU Fellowship tomorrow. See what happens when you're hungry. I gotta remember. ANU Fellowship tomorrow, and we have womb space. No, womb room. See, already. We have that. Just bad at it. And we have midday affirmation that first day. And also, let me pull it up. Look, we going down in that Big Easy. You know, talking about we up in New Orleans. You know, there's the QR code for those that don't know. ANU Summer Retreat. Put another one up. You know, and we are doing it. You know. What? Who said that? Yeah, Zach said that June, July, June, July 2023. One of them. I don't, you know, but yeah, you know, I'm talking about that's what we doing, you know, and you know, that's what's going down. Oh, and don't forget the ANU blog. You know, and like always, you know, oh yeah, but see, look, I said it for comical effects. I didn't say it for I said it for comical effects. I didn't say it because that's what I'm doing. I knew when it was. I just said it because I wanted to get, you know, a laugh or two. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's what we got going down, you know. And man, look, give thanks everybody for coming in, showing out. Greatly appreciate it. Look, like I say, Ramadan, so enjoy the fasting, get clarity, and grow stronger, man, and grow. That's the key. But you know, direct the force, man. Direct it to where you want to go. Steer the ship, you know, or turn the wheel, steer the wheel, you know. But in everything that you do, man, may it grant you victory. You know what I'm talking about, and success. So, but give thanks, and yo, I will see y'all next strong. You know, cause we gotta go. But give thanks, everybody, and peace.